back. This is Trisha, the Inky Planner, and I'm just sitting down to plan out my week. I have my A5 planner. This is my 505X, and I have my plan to create inserts that I print on my own. I'm just popping open my A5 and giving you a peek at some of my monthly dividers that I've been having fun getting creative with those. And then I flip forward, and here's where my pages have just come from. There's last week. And I've pulled out a clean set for this week, and this is starting for the week of April 9th. So I have all of these cool stickers that I got at Michael's, and I loved the color and the different design and the foiling in these stickers, but I cannot really recommend them because, as you can see here, I'm trying to peel the stickers and they are not coming off the backing. It's like I'm almost tearing the sticker when I try to peel it, and I cannot make them work. So I am somebody who just does not like to waste supplies, and I did spend money on these, and I just don't have time to go back to Michael's and return them. So I think I'm going to just try to cut them and paste them in as if they were die cuts. And I just showed you there, I pulled some alphas, I've jotted down my plans for the week, and I've pulled some ink colors to go along with it. So these little vellum alphas that are tinted pink, they're so sweet. They're from Studio Calico. And I was just about to plunk my dates in, and I'm looking at it going, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to run out of digits because they just have single digits, so I have to use the one on every single day of the week, and I'm going to run out. So here I am going, wait a sec. So, this happens all the time where I get an idea in my head and it gets derailed a little bit because I didn't think it all the way through. But that's okay. We just sort of make changes on the fly. So I'm grabbing a whole stack of other alphas, and I found some alternatives, some other block pink alphas and some glittery ones. And I just decided I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to use something different for each day of the week. So I've got this cute little glitter alpha. And this is a great way too, if you have a bunch of sheets that you have used partially. If you mix and match them, it's a great way to use up your supplies that are left over. So I put that glitter on for Monday the 9th. I left Tuesday the 10th using that vellum alpha, and then I'm going to use these larger like block alphas that are matte from Studio Calico. And these give you a ton of the same digit on every sheet. So that is really nice. I like that a lot about these Studio Calico sheets because they're all, I keep saying alphas, but I guess they're all numeric on those sheets. And that's why you get so many. So I'm just going to continue throughout the week, and I'm using these EK Success tweezers. If you guys have never tried tweezers like this, I find tweezers to be very handy for putting on small stickers because my big my big thumbs like get in the way. And these are the reverse pinch style, which I don't, maybe that's the best way I can describe it, which means that when you pinch them, you are releasing the grip, and when you aren't pinching, it's holding. So it's very nice because the majority of the time when you're holding onto a little piece of something, you don't need to be, straining your fingers the whole time. And I really like them a lot, and I'll link them in the description area below. So now I've got my dates all on there, and they're all just different shades of pink, and I'm super happy with that on the fly adjustment. So back to these Michael's stickers, I am cutting them, as I said, just cutting them into strips with the backing paper intact, and I'm just going to glue them on. I do lose, like a lot of these stickers had pretty scallops and stuff, and I'm just not going to cut around, like fussy cut all those little scallops. So I lose that, which is a little bit of a bummer, but the colors are all still very pretty, and it's really easy to just glue stuff on. So I'm pulling various pieces and playing around with placement, figuring out what I'm going to do with everything. And this will change as I go. What I ultimately decided was I loved this rainbow with the teeny gold polka dots. That's like a gold foil polka dot. And then this stripe with similar colors has gold foil running through it as well. And I decided to run the two of those right up the center of my page where they meet in the middle. I also cut that little weekend that has the blue background, and I've got that up on the upper right. None of this is adhered yet. Again, I'm just playing around with the placement, and I'm visualizing possibly putting my to-do lists at the top of each day and using that little blue with the diamond pattern to sort of break that apart from the rest of the column. So this is where I have it thus far, and I decide before I glue any of that down, I'm going to go ahead and get my title on, because maybe that'll change, my composition and where I want the little strips glued down. So I also want to apologize a little bit. My lighting is kind of blown out today. I decided to zoom this in a little closer than I normally do, and I'm not sure if that affected my lighting or whether I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of glare in this video and it's all like super bright blown out. So I apologize for that. Hopefully you can still get the idea of what I'm doing and it's not too uncomfortable to watch. But I've chosen a nice pale blue. This is Bashful Blue from Stampin' Up. And this, one of my very favorite alphabets is this big bold alpha with the cute font that's from an old Scraptastic set. I don't even think it's available anymore, but I know Felicity Jane sells one that's really similar, and I will link that below. And then this script set is awesome. It's from Concord 9th, and it looks like you have hand lettered a title, and you just stamp these so that they're all connecting, and it looks like you just have this gorgeous handwriting when really it's a bunch of stamps. So I've just stamped April in the block letters, and then I've gone over it in the script with a nice darker color. And I do that often, that layering where I have kind of two contrasting fonts and a lighter and a darker color, and I like that look. I think it just makes it real interesting up there. So I'm happy with how that turned out. I'm going back to placing everything and making sure that I still like how that looks now that I've got that pop of blue in the upper left. So I am ready to adhere some of this. I'm going to start with those center strips and with that weekend little cluster up at the top, and a little bit hangs off the edge there, which I always like to do. So I'm just trimming that off, and I have adhered those center strips, and I just use my two-way glue pen for that. Mine happens to be a Stampin' Up, but Zig makes one, and they're wonderful. It gives you really good stick. I never have any problem with anything peeling up. So before I put those other horizontal pieces on, I did want to put in my to-do lists, and I have this Pretty in Pink. Again, it's Stampin' Up, and a real pale pink that ties into the pale pink in those stickers. And I'm just going to use this Studio L2E lines. I think it's called List It Lines, and I think I use this literally every week. It is one of the most functional stamps that I have in my entire collection. So I've just gone and put those Monday through Friday. I don't usually put them on the weekends just because I'm a little more loose with my chores on the weekends. And then I have this tiny little square, like a solid square, and that comes from an old Studio Calico set, and I just have put that at the front of each of those lines so that there's a little tick box to check off when I complete my task. So here I am lining up that horizontal piece yet again. And I wanted to get those lines stamped first so that I knew right where to put those. And now I have glued those down using that two-way glue pen. That little yellow sticker that says, "Oh, what a beautiful day," comes from the same sticker set. I cut that out and actually cut the little flag ends. And it's my daughter's birthday that day, so I wanted to have a little extra something on Tuesday. So I have that "Oh, what a beautiful day," and then now I've put this label stamp, which is another old Scraptastic set that I love, and that'll be where I can mark that it's her birthday. As far as events throughout the week, my scheduled events and my sort of unscheduled but day-specific events are all going to be are all going to be from this old Scraptastic set, which is these tiny little numbers. And there's a star icon as well. So I decided if something is just specific to the day, but not at a specific time, I just was going to use that star. And then if it was at a specific time, I'm going to use these numbers, which I would normally use for the dates at the top. And I'm going to put those across my page, and they will indicate the time of my events. So I've done that throughout the week, and I'm just referring to my iCal to see what I have going on. And then I'll just take my Pilot FriXion pen and fill things in across the week. And you can see if something's not at the hour, like instead of 9 o'clock, it's at 9:30, I'm just writing in a little 30 next to it. Rather than trying to stamp all that out, I thought that that would get a little too cluttered. So I'm pasting down another little strip because we have an all-day event on Saturday. So I'm just using a little arrow strip from that same sticker set and writing in the event. And then I'm going to repeat that label stamp. It looks like a ticket. Put that down on the lower right on Friday. And I like that that sort of draws your eye from the one on the left to the one on the right. I always like to repeat elements and colors throughout my layouts. And both of those events have to do with my daughter's birthday. So during the week, that's her actual birthday, and we'll get the family together. And you can see I've stamped the word birthday and then handwritten her name just using a brush pen. I'm going to put a cute little heart from Studio Calico on there to decorate that. And then the lower right is when she's going to have some girlfriends over and do a little party. So I'm pulling out, this is actually a holiday set from Sweet Stamp Shop, and it has the word celebrate in it. And I'm going to, you'll see I'm going to lift my page back up into the screen here. Sorry, I'm a little off at the bottom, but I stamped the word celebrate right inside that little ticket. And I'm going to add another label because her party is a sleepover, so it's going to spill over to the next morning. So I'm just looking through my labels that I print and cut myself on my Silhouette, and these are all downloadable from the Studio Calico website. And I'm just picking a longer one, and I'm going to just write in there that this is the night that we're taking some girlfriends out to see a movie, and they're going to have a sleepover and have a little party here, and that'll be how she celebrates her birthday with her friends. She's having her golden birthday this year, 10 on the 10th, so she's hitting double digits. I'm pulling out another stamp. This is an old and unfortunately, I think, discontinued stamp, but it is, you've seen it on a lot of my pages if you have watched my videos or seen my Instagram, and it's a fork and a plate and a knife, and it's a great spot to jot down your meal plan. And again, I'm sorry that I'm off screen there, but it is just along the bottom of my page and just on my weekdays. So I do have quite a bit of space left at the bottom, and on the left hand side I'm thinking that this is a good spot to put weekly, like a master task list for the week. So I am going to head that up with another sticker strip out of that same set from Michaels. And again, I'm cutting off the scallops. At first I'm like gonna try to cut these out, and then I was like, no way. So I'm gonna decide to scrap that and cut this into a skinny little strip. And this has a bunch of motivational words, follow your dreams and trust your heart and things like that across the little washi strip. And I'm going to cut that real thin, and I'm going to put that across the left-hand side of my page. And I like that it has that sort of rainbow ombre, and that it's going to divide out my the section that has my events from what I'm going to create as my master to-dos. Now, obviously, I have all kinds of to-do lists up across the top, but sometimes I like to have what I would call non-day specific to-dos, just things I know I need to accomplish, but I don't necessarily have them allocated to a specific day yet. And I just want to have sort of a reference down there of lists. They don't necessarily fit into my schedule. So I've adhered that across the bottom, probably a little crooked, but that's okay. And then I'm going to stamp this week, which goes right over that, so it designates that this is not necessarily specific to these days anymore, but now we're talking anytime this week. If I get these things done, I'll feel pretty good. So I'm going back to that pale blue ink. This is the Bashful Blue again, and I've just got a set of circle check boxes, check circles, however you would describe those. I think this comes from an older Studio L2E maybe, or maybe I grabbed that from the Studio Calico set. I have a couple of those tracker type stickers and I use them quite a bit. And that was all I was going to do down there. So I just go ahead and punch out my circles again, since I've covered my holes with washi tape there. And I'm going to put this back into my planner and call it a day. So thanks so much for joining me as I planned out this week. And I do think that when I pull this a little further from the camera, my light is much better. So that must have been the problem. Anyway, here's a close-up look at my week. Thank you so much for being here. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and we'll see you again real soon. Have a great day.